Hello, this is Kate, and this is a kind of mini lesson on how to do a tarot reading using the life purpose spread. So a lot of people are really curious about life purpose and what their life purpose is and whether they're living it or not. So I designed a spread that will help you figure that out with tarot cards. So I'm going to turn the first card over, and this is just a demonstration reading. So I'm just reading for a fictitious person here. And the first card represents you and kind of you in relation to your life purpose. So, how well you are living your life purpose and how connected you feel to your life purpose. So we've got Knight of Swords. And Knight of Swords tells me that this person is really kind of definitely on their life path, and they're moving along at a really steady rate, and they're definitely a real go-getter. So they're fairly ambitious. They're definitely kind of doing all the right things, taking the right courses, meeting the right people, putting tons of time and energy into living their life purpose. So they're definitely kind of going in the right direction. But the Knight of Swords is almost an aggressive card. So this person might be kind of trying too hard to do the right thing or to live their life purpose the proper way. And this could lead to exhaustion or burnout. So that's the downside of this card. But overall, it lets me know that this person is definitely going in the right direction and they're kind of going full steam ahead. Yeah, okay, so the next card represents you and your personal life purpose. So this is representing maybe areas of spiritual growth that you're working on, or particular lessons that you came here to master. So we've got Ten of Wands, and this card traditionally would mean, feeling oppressed, feeling kind of weighed down, maybe feeling overwhelmed or exhausted. This card can come up for people who are, maybe trying to do too many jobs at once, or they have a lot of responsibilities or duties that they have to take care of. So to relate this to someone's personal life purpose, I would say that, when I look at the card, I see the figure isn't really, he can't see where he's going. So his view of his path ahead is obstructed by all these sticks in front of him. And to me, this would suggest that this person is, in their personal life, is struggling with being able to discern where they're going despite all the things that might distract them in life. So despite all their responsibilities, all their duties, and all the things that they're taking on, whether it be relationships, friendships, all the kind of drama associated with living life as a human being. These are things that are getting in this person's way of seeing clearly and making informed decisions. And also, I think it's obstructing them from maintaining a strong connection with their spirit guides or their higher self, however you want to think about it. So I think a major lesson or a major task that this person is working on, or what they came here to do on a personal level, has to do with maintaining a strong spiritual connection or a strong connection to their higher selves, despite all the experiences that they're going to be having as a human being. So despite all the dramas and distractions, that's their lesson that they're working on, is maintaining that spiritual connection. And then this next card represents your life purpose as it relates to your family, friends, and your community. So this is the kind of the smaller, your smaller social network. And so this card can represent the role that you came here to play, like your role in relation to your family or your friends. And it can also represent how you intended, or how you intend to impact those who are closest to you. So what kind of influence you're wanting to have on your community or your close friends and family. Now this is interesting because the moon kind of represents not really knowing. So things are hidden, not everything is obvious here. So this could mean that this person's life purpose in this area isn't totally clear, or they're not meant to know too much about it at this point. So that's one way of looking at this card. Another way of seeing it is that the moon represents what is hidden, in other words, the subconscious mind. And so I would say that this person's role in their community and in their family and with their friends is to help those around them access their subconscious, or bring certain things to light. So bringing certain things that are hiding out in the subconscious up to be healed or to be worked on. And when I look at this card, I think of things like hypnosis is one thing that does that, or dream work. Those things come to mind, so those are just specific little things that this person might want to think about looking into as a way to help people do that. Another way I could read this card is this person might have a very important role in triggering those closest to them, triggering their kind of subconscious issues that they aren't aware of. And I would say we all kind of have that role within our families or our friends. We trigger other people to become aware of their issues that they haven't dealt with yet. And in the same vein, people around us trigger us as well to bring those things to light. So that is also a role that that person might hold. And then moving on to the last card, this represents your life purpose at the global level. So this is how you intended to affect the world before you incarnated into a human body, or before you came to the planet. What was your intention? So this is kind of like your life purpose in the bigger scheme of things. And it's often very closely, it can be very closely related to your community purpose as well. And we've got the Fool, and the Fool is all about new beginnings and taking a fresh perspective and having a huge amount of hope and faith in the outcome of things. So I would say that this person's role, or not so much their role, but their purpose on the global level, is to inspire others to have hope and faith that things will work out, but also to bring a really fresh perspective of looking at things. So bringing a totally new dimension to the world, and I would say even assisting in kind of ushering in a new time, or a whole new era, a new a new way of living life, or a way of looking at things. So bringing in that fresh, optimistic, kind of bright energy. And now the last thing you can do, you can take a step back and you can come back to this card, and you can compare this card to each one individually and see if they're similar, if they seem harmonious, or if they seem opposing. And that can give you some really interesting clues as to how well you are living your life purpose in these particular areas. And again, I noticed he's very this card's very strong, very direct, and just looking at these two cards in particular, they seem like very still, very calm, self-assured cards. So I would suggest that this person is actually really trying a bit too hard, and maybe expending more energy than they need to achieve their life purpose. I think if they just kind of took a breath and took a rest, they would be able to live their purpose in a more joyful manner. And what else did I want to mention here? And you can also look at this card to get hints as to kind of what you need to change in order to become more aligned with your life purpose. So in this case, this person could maybe calm down a little bit and be more in the moment in order to experience their life purpose more fully. So I hope you found this sample reading helpful. And my name is Kate. Thank you so much for joining me.